Today, we're going to dive into the story of a young man named Malik. And his journey, it really asks a fundamental question. What does it actually mean to participate in the world, and what happens when your ability to do that depends completely on someone else?
Now, this quote, it isn't some complex medical jargon. It's a deeply human desire that's really at the heart of Malik's story, and honestly, all of our stories. It's that simple, powerful drive to be an active player in your own life, not just stuck on the sidelines watching it go by. Just take a second and really imagine that. What if your ability to make a choice, to share a thought, or just connect with another person relied completely on having a trained partner right there with you? This is the central challenge we're going to look at today, the critical, life-altering role of a support system.
So let's meet Malik. He's 23 years old, and before we get into any diagnosis or anything like that, it's so important to see him as a person who, just like you and me, wants to connect and engage with everything around him.
Malik has what's known as charge syndrome. Now for him, this means he has functional vision in only one eye and is profoundly deaf. And yeah, that definitely shapes how he perceives the world, but it absolutely does not define who he is or what he wants out of life.
And this is so key. Malik has his own language. It's a system that's all based on touch, and it's completely individualized for him. But for him to speak, he needs a partner who knows how to listen, not with their ears, but with their hands.
So what does life actually look like when that connection is made? When someone is there who, gets it, who speaks his language? Well, it becomes a world of active participation.
You see, with the right support, Malik's world just opens up. His desires become crystal clear, and they're things we all want, right? Hanging out with people you know, having meaningful things to do, and getting a little more independence. It's not that his wants are complex, it's that his ability to even express them depends on someone understanding him.
Okay, now we're getting to the absolute core of this story, because Malik lives in two profoundly different realities, and the only thing that separates them is whether or not a trained communication partner is by his side. So what happens when that partner isn't there? When the person who speaks his language just isn't available, and he's left with someone who simply doesn't get it? Just look at this slide. It lays out the two starkly different worlds Malik lives in. It's night and day. With support, he's making choices, he's social, his preferences are known. Without it, decisions are made for him, his wants are totally ignored, and he's basically excluded from his own life. It's the same person, but the environment completely changes his ability to just be himself. Faced with this reality, Malik's family did what any family would do. They went searching for a better world for him. This wasn't just, a simple move. It was a mission to find a consistent and truly supportive environment. This timeline really lays out their incredible journey. So in New Jersey, his school gave him that crucial, consistent support. But as he got closer to adulthood, his family saw that the system just wasn't ready for him. The adult services were lacking, and even the climate, the snow and ice, created physical barriers. So they made this huge, life-changing decision to move all the way to North Carolina, chasing a specialized program in the simple freedom of a milder climate.
But here's the thing. Relocating wasn't a magic fix. It wasn't the end of the story. It was one massive step in a much longer, still unfinished journey. The fight for consistent, high-quality support, it continues.
And these are the big systemic hurdles that are still there today. It really all comes back to consistent access. Access to trained partners, to good programs, and to a community that's safe and knowledgeable. But most importantly, it's about making sure his autonomy, his fundamental right to make his own choices, is always respected.
2. That number just says so much, doesn't it? 2 states. An entire family had to uproot their lives, not because they wanted to, but out of sheer necessity. They had to figure out 2 completely different state systems just to find the basic support Malik needs to live a full life. And that brings us to the ultimate takeaway from his story. Because when you step back and you look at Malik's entire journey, one lesson just stands out above everything else. It's not about his diagnosis or his abilities. It's about the world around him.
So this is kind of the clinical way of saying it, but the meaning behind it is profound. What it means is that a person's performance, what they can actually do, is directly tied to their environment and the systems we have in place to support them. Potential isn't some fixed point, it's something that's either unlocked or sadly limited by the world we build.
And this right here, this gets to the absolute heart of the matter. We don't see Malik's true potential when he's isolated. We see it when he's understood. What we might perceive as someone's limitations may actually just be a reflection of our own failure to provide the right kind of support.
And that leaves us with a final, really critical question, because Malik's story isn't just about him. It's a mirror held up to our own communities. How many people are we underestimating? How much incredible human potential is sitting right there in front of us, just waiting for the right connection, the right support to finally be seen?